Most people think debt is the thing that ruins your life. And sometimes it is. But sometimes it's the thing that builds it. The truth is, not all debt is created equal. And knowing the difference can change your life, can change your future. Picture two people. Both walk into a bank. Both borrow $400,000. But one uses that debt to build wealth, but the other uses the debt to stay financially stuck. Same bank, same amount, same debt. The only difference is what they use it for. That is the difference between debt that builds your future and debt that quietly drains it. If you grew up hearing that all debt is dangerous, this video is for you. Because by the end of the video, you'll have a simple filter you can use before taking on any debt at all. I think a lot of people grow up hearing one message: debt is bad. And honestly, for a lot of families, that belief came from something real. Stress, pressure, bills, regret, wanting safety, wanting less chaos. So I completely understand where that fear comes from. But the problem starts when nobody teaches the difference between debt that buys lifestyle and the debt that buys assets. Because those are not the same thing at all. Debt is not one category. Debt is a tool, and tools depend on what you build with them. Some debt helps you buy something that you can grow, generate income, or improve your future options. But some debt does the opposite. It buys something that loses value, creates pressure, and keeps taking money out of your pocket. And that's the distinction. And once you see it clearly, you stop reacting to debt emotionally and start assessing it strategically. Let's make it really simple. Debt that builds is used to buy something with the potential to produce income, grow in value, or improve your earning power. But debt that drains is used to buy something that mainly costs you money and drops in value. So what might debt that builds look like? An investment property that earns rental income and grows over time. A business loan that helps you build something profitable. And in some cases, education that directly increases your earning capacity. But on the other hand, what does debt that drains looks like? A car loan on a car that drops in value. Credit card debt for clothes, holidays, or impulse spending. Buy now, pay later, for things you didn't badly enough save for. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying you're a bad person if you spend money on things you enjoy. I do that too. But that's not the point. The point is being honest about what something is. Because if you borrow for lifestyle and call it investing, you're just lying to yourself. A simple test is this: will this thing put money in my pocket or take money out of it? And then the next question is the expected return higher than the cost of borrowing that money? And that's where this stops being opinion and starts becoming maths. Let me show you. Say two people, Abby and Sam, both have $100,000. Abby uses her $100,000 to buy a $100,000 property outright. But Sam uses this money as a deposit and borrows another $400,000 to buy a $500,000 property. Now let's say both grow by 6% in 1 year. Abby's property grows from $100,000 to $106,000. And if she also collects about $5,000 in rent on her original $100,000, that's an 11% return. Now let's look at Sam. His property grows from $500,000 to $530,000, but he also collects about $25,000 in rent, but he has borrowing costs. Let's say the interest on his loan is 6%, so that'd be $24,000 in interest. So after growth, rent, and interest costs, Sam is left with a profit of about $31,000 on his original $100,000. So that's a 31% return. But don't get lost in the numbers. The point is very simple. The same amount of personal cash used differently can create very different outcomes. That is the power of leverage, using borrowed money to amplify your returns. And this is why some people use debt strategically, not emotionally, strategically. But I want to be really careful here. This is a simplified example to just explain the concept. Real investing obviously has more costs, more moving parts, and more risk. And leverage cuts both ways. If the asset drops in value instead of rising, the leveraged person can lose more too. And that matters a lot. So this is not a message of borrow as much money as possible. It's a message of understand exactly what you are doing before you borrow anything. Because debt that builds only works if the thing that you're buying is actually worth building around. That still takes research, and that still takes judgment, and that still takes restraint. So before you take on any debt, ask yourself 3 questions. Will this purchase grow in value or generate income? Is the expected return higher than the cost of borrowing? And do I have a plan if things go wrong? If you can't answer those clearly, slow down. Because debt is not automatically smart just because it's available. I think this is one of the most important mindset shifts in money. Not debt is good, not debt is bad. Just this. What is this debt doing for my future? A lot of people don't get trapped by debt because they're careless. They get trapped because nobody taught them to ask better questions first. And other people use debt very carefully to buy assets that increase their options over time. That is the real difference. And if you want to test this kind of scenario for yourself, I've linked a free leverage calculator below. You can plug in your own numbers and see how debt changed the outcome. The danger isn't debt itself. The danger is debt without clarity. Because wealth is not built by having the most debt. It's built by using money, including borrowing money, with clarity. So here's your challenge for this week. Think of one thing you're currently paying for or thinking about buying, and ask yourself honestly, is this helping my future or just costing my future? Put it in the comments because I'd love to see what you come up with. And if you want more content that helps you think clearly about money, freedom, and building wealth without the fluff, subscribe. That's exactly what this channel is about.